Hi, this video is to talk about the application of the interval estimate when we know the population standard deviation. This is to show you an application in a problem, and it's very similar to the problem we solved in the last video. So we have a department store that selects a random sample of 100 customers in order to learn about the amount spent per shopping trip. So they want to know how much customers spend, which is fair because they want to plan their operations, plan sales, and so on. So Lloyd surveyed 100 customers, so we have our sample size and obtain a sample mean of $82. Based on historical data, Lloyd now assumes a value of population standard deviation of 20. So I know the population standard deviation, so I have to develop a 90% confidence interval. Okay, so these are the steps I propose to organize the process. So first step is take notes about the information given in the problem that you're going to be using. Step number 2, compute the z-score alpha level divided by 2, and you have a video showing you how to do that. Step 3, plug the numbers into the formula, interpret the interval estimate. So here's the steps. So imagine you have a notebook, old-fashioned notebook in front of you. You can take note about the sample mean, about the population standard deviation, sample size, and the confidence coefficient. Then you use the confidence coefficient to find the z value associated with the confidence level you want. In step 3, we plug the numbers into the formula, add and subtract from the sample mean, do everything, and then you interpret. So this interval between 78.71 and 82.29 will include the true population mean, about 3 population mean amount spent by customers per shopping trip 90% of the time, or we are 90% confident that the interval between 78.71 and 85.29 will include the true population mean amount spent by customers per shopping trip. Okay, so if you do in Excel, it's very similar to what we did here. So there's nothing different. This is the Excel file from the problem I solved in the previous video. So you can go back, watch the video, open this file, and see how to solve this problem, okay? And one important thing is the adequate sample size. You see that sample size is everywhere in our problems. So in most applications, a sample size greater than 30 is okay, is good. If the population distribution is not normal, which is highly skewed or has many outliers, a sample size of 50 or more is recommended. If the population is not normally distributed but is roughly symmetric, a sample size as small as 15, that's enough, will be enough. And if the population is believed to be at least approximately normal also, a sample size of less than 15 can be used. Okay, that's all for this video. I suggest you to practice in the homework assignment to get knowledge about how to solve these problems.